the weather that's causing this or something like that.
Sure, July was hot too.
Mm.
But
July
like
was.
this year,
Oh,
this year
I've heard about a
like
few.
August is scorching.
I've heard about it. No,
What
most.
about what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what about? Is it hot over there? Is it like 100 degrees and stuff where you're
And you know
at,
what?
or
I'm not too sure. Let me check right now.
a tad bit annoying? But I do bring my selfie stick, so I don't have to
Uh,
like hold my hand up, like way up high, and I just literally hold my hand to my, I guess I do it in a way, Brown. No
hmm
one else. I mean, this is a smart way to film the videos, but I hear plenty of people complain, whether that's online or whatever. Like, oh, people they just hold their phones up the whole time and they watch through the screen. Well, if I had, I even if I don't have the selfie stick, I tried not to watch through the screen. Like, I'll put to the side, I'll put, what I'm saying, and
yes.
using the selfie stick, I don't extend it out to the 4 or 5 feet. I just extend it out maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 inches or so, not too high, but enough to where like I can just kind of pledge allegiance. When you pledge allegiance, your hand over your heart,
Yep.
like I have my arm that high instead of my arm higher than my head, which holding a phone up the whole, that's kind of impossible. It's hard to do. So I got a good way to do that, and it brings these videos on this now. I
Kind
did
of the what you're describing the stage. It kind of reminds me of Harpo's Concert Theater back in D Town because the stage for that venue was kind of like the same as the one you're telling me about in this venue in Dallas.
yeah, it's like it's not too high, but it's high enough to where like a fan can't climb up necessarily. It'll be pretty hard
Mm.
for a fan to jump up, but it's
I
not,
think I know what you're talking about, where it's way
you
above
know
your
what I
head,
mean?
correct?
Yeah, but it's high enough
Ah,
to where you can still be in the back and see the whole I mean, any place standing is good, but I like standing in the front because there's no assholes in front of me,
mm-hmm.
and people can get a little drunk and it's hot, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
A little crazy.
any place in that place would have been a good place to watch that. I mean, it was the only bad part. It was like an hour long set.
Mm.
Um, they opened for Winger. I didn't stay around to watch Winger. It was like
Yeah, I'm
100
kind of
degrees.
surprised. Yeah, it was too hot, I guess.
Well,
They couldn't handle it.
it was hot, and Winger comes around like a lot. Like,
Mm.
that venue gets a lot of the Firehouse, your older '80s bands that not your Def Leppard's and nothing like
Band,
that, but
yeah, because they're playing stadiums right now with a Journey at the moment.
yeah, they don't
They
they don't
get the
get.
bands from the early half of the '80s, the glam metal scene, as you
I mean,
refer to
Dawkins
as.
gonna be there.
Mm.
Like, the real Dawkins gonna be there next month, but he was horrible, so I'm not gonna
Mm.
wait. I mean, it's to film the Dawkins show in
Mm.
2024. That's like you're gonna get a lot of negative feedback on the comments, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
and I already know he's not that good. Like, he's doing it for the money because he's broke.
I
The
know.
only reason
I
Don
know.
Bach is doing concerts. I
I
mean,
think,
it's
but let's not forget the health issues he has. So he needs the money to help pay for
yes,
that, most
yes,
definitely. It's like
and
you figure that since Don owns the docking entity, he'd be raking in some good amounts of money. But then again, Docking kind of like it was like one of those opening act type of bands. Yeah, they were good, they were on the rise, but just before they really made a big boom, they broke up around the 88, 87.
we're like, see, that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
The 80s doesn't seem like the 90s doesn't seem like a long time, but It's a long time. I mean, 9/11,
It
September
does.
11, 2001. Doesn't seem a long time ago, but it really was a long time ago. Like 20
It
years went by
was. It
quick.
was exactly. I mean, like, but yet
But
still
it,
talk about it today because it was such an
but the
impactful
world,
event.
the world obviously was way different in the 80s and the 90s than it was now, and now
Oh,
is way
way
different than
different.
it was.
Way different.
Even now is different than the 2000s as well. I mean, it's a big difference from the 2000s and now. Like, there's a lot of similarities. Whatever, like computers were a thing, right? Internet, but like to an extent, the 2000s. But there's a lot of difference. A lot of better stuff in the 2000s than now. Like, now's
Yeah.
the worst time to be a human. I feel like
Yeah. Right now,
everyone's
probably.
dying. All these singers are getting older that we love. Like, they're doing their farewell. This Lynch farewell. This
Yeah. Jack
Sammy
Russell
Hagar
from Great
deal.
White.
Everything.
He's decided to retire from touring.
Aerosmith farewell. I mean, all the
The
big.
Peace
I
Out
mean,
tour.
and they're old enough. Like, they're in their seven. Like, a lot of these people are in their 70s. They're not in their 50s.
Skinny Puppy
Regardless.
called it quits after about 40 plus years together. I guess Black Sabbath's been gone since 2017. That was
See,
their last.
music's not like rock music or guitar music. It's not dead. It's just not as popular as it was when it was popular in the 70s,
It's
80s,
more
90s.
toned
Like,
down, needless to say, man. It's a lot more, it's less edgier to put forth.
your George Lynch's, for example, in the 80s. I mean, this is my opinion, but it is like a fact as well. Um, when you God damn it!
Whoa. You okay?
Now just this damn Wi-Fi is going in and out. So when going back to my deal here, you ever heard of the Boys of '79?
The Boys is 79.
It's Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, and
And
George
George Lynch.
Lynch.
Yeah, the big main guitar players in that scene around
I
that
mean,
time.
Scene, and of course Eddie and Randy Rhoads passed away.
Mhm.
But if you really think, I mean, your Slashes are still alive.
Mhm.
Your Eric Clapton's. I mean, he's in a different genre
Yeah.
of guitar rock, or guitar, but still, like, I'm talking the best guitar. I mean, George. I mean, I know drugs, cocaine, blah 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 was a big part of making music back in the day.
Yeah.
But to see George, and you see George doing the tapping somewhat like Eddie did. Eddie did a lot more tapping, blah blah
Mhm.
blah. But like it is, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's all sorts of different terms when playing the guitar. The guitar sweeping. Have you heard of that, Brown? Sweeping
Not
notes.
much. Sweep. No.
Sweeping. Look, it's all these different terms, right? Sweet, and there's other things too. But he's just so much, like, his hand is going a million miles an hour doing these different notes, blah 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 blah, like doing the tappy thing, putting the pick in his mouth and like picking with his fingers, like
Yep.
30
Exactly.
30 different ways. I mean, it is. I mean, he's probably the greatest guitar living right now in that era for sure. There's a lot left, right? If you think about it, everyone has but have the opportunity to see stuff like that
Well, we do
for
have
30
shredder.
bucks.
Well, I see a lot of reels on Facebook of various new guitar players ready
Yes.
to shut out their six strings or seven strings or eight strings. Yeah, most likely, no doubt that the guitar players that we're talking about right now
The
played a big
icons.
part. The icons: Lynch, Van Halen, Rhodes,
And then you will wind that to your Richie Blackmores, your Eric Claptons,
Jimi
your
Hendrix,
Tony Iommi's,
Tony Allen. Yep.
Hendrix,
Mhm.
Jimmy Page. Like, those are your Godfather. You know what I'm saying? Those are your. But like, when this whole in the '80s, as you know, when the whole Floyd Rose system came about,
Mhm.
and the diving bombs, blah blah blah. They're doing different stuff with the guitar, the sound,
Yep.
of it, and all that came from Eddie, pretty much, and everyone followed suit. George Lynch was right. I mean, he straight up tried out for Ozzy's solo group, and
Mhm.
they didn't. Have you heard of the story?
I think I have. Yes, he did
So there's
audition
two
to be with
different
Ozzy.
there's two different versions, I think, and not two different versions, but there's two different deals to where he was like they were going to have George Lynch be the guitarist, before. I don't know if this is before Randy Rhodes or
Or
this was
probably
after
after,
that.
maybe so.
It
One of
might
those
have been.
two
It's
time
one of the
periods.
two, which that's an important fact to leave out that I need to look up. But the reason they didn't choose him, it wasn't because he couldn't play. He played great. It was two reasons, and I heard these two reasons, and I watched or listened to George Lynch with podcasts on YouTube, blah blah blah,
Hmm.
just random, and the hair
Mm.
was the thing. Like the hair was too clammy. It was like he had bleached hair, and it was like the
The
early,
two-tone hairstyle he had. The
yeah, the two
top was
tone,
blonde, the rest was
or
dark.
the he had like this green guitar, and he said Sharon didn't like it because it looked like a booger. Quote. I mean, it
Oh
was.
my goodness gracious.
But yeah, I mean, this is
That's
just
a
some serious
flimsy-ass
stuff.
excuse.
Like only me and Brown and a few other people in this community probably know who George Lynch is, but the importance, the iconic, the tone, the George Lynch tone was there, Brown. I mean, there was some audio
I know.
issues,
Yeah.
and I videoed the whole show, and he
Yes.
was like he was pissed at the sound guy, man. It was not. It was like the house sound guy, like sometimes house sound guys like that just work at their venue, aren't that great. I don't know, like that particular place, it's 50-50. Like sometimes the sound, I mean, the sound is great, you can hear it, but like compared to the Piercy concert, like
Mhm.
Piercy's voice, you couldn't really hear it from where I was so close to the stage. But on this particular concert, you can hear the singer better. It's
Mhm.
interesting, but you couldn't like on the Monaco Johnny Monaco guitar, I could hear better. It was like way it was the sound varies at the venue, and it kind of sucks, but it's not horrible. Like it's what I'm saying. It's not gonna like throw you off to where, and you can always stand in different places, Brown. Like if
Mm,
it sounds bad, blah blah blah. But
yeah.
that place,
Speaking of
when you're
sound, man, I remember hearing about this one story with the Dawkins show in the Westland area of Michigan. I guess they were playing a venue, if I'm correct, the Token Lounge, and I guess there were a lot of sound issues. I think Don Dawkins said something, and the sound man replied, "Well, Don, we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that," and Dawkins said something about it's what happens when you have so many shitty bands in Detroit. And the moment he said that, almost half the venue walked out of that place because
it's a bit of a
many
dick.
people, and in fact, I guess John Levin, who is the current guitarist for Doc, and
Yes.
he made a few. He really felt bad for what happened. I guess he made a few apologies to the Detroit press, if I'm correct. But I guess Don himself really felt horrible about saying that. But then again, you got to remember when you're having a lot of sound issues, especially when you're having these ear monitors in your earlobes, that's going to present even more problems, especially when it comes to feedback. So I can understand the frustration where the bands and the singers, guitar players are coming from because it gets to be a bitch at times to deal with. And also got to keep in mind that many of these, acts like Doc and Lynch Mob and this old 80s band, you know, they earned mostly from touring and merchandise, like Rat was back
Yeah.
a few years ago. They haven't had a record deal. If they have any new albums, most likely it was on a independent label that nobody's heard of. Like I've only heard of Frontiers music one time, and that was back in the early '90s. And the album that I remember that came out on that label was Only Theater Pain by Christian Death, and that was that. I'm surprised myself that label is still running, but I figured it'd be gone by now.
They
But
still do
but
work
the, with Dokken.
with Dokken and others. I hear
Hmm.
Eddie Trunk talking about him all the time. But I sent you the guitar that he was using last night.
Hmm.
It's the George Lynch. It's the Desert Eagle
Mm. Oh,
ESP
nice.
brand, which he's been sponsored by them forever.
Oh, yeah.
And well, there's two different models like that. That's what he used. I mean, he was using that one last night. But there's a model that's like $5,000. That's the same look and blah blah blah. I bet it's probably just. I don't know why it's $5,000 more, but this one I sent you was like 2 grand,
Wow.
and I think it says it was like handcrafted in Japan. Blah blah blah. I don't know why the other one's 5 grand, but and I don't know which one Lynch was using, the 5 grand one or the $1,000 one, $2,000 one. Still, they're both good.
Hmm.
Um, Look, the tone. You got to be a damn good guitarist to have your own tone. I mean, every guitarist has their own tone. Let me rewind that, right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
iconic tones, like if you hear,
Let me put it up to the camera here. Check it out there if you can see it, folks. There. This is
that's
the
a pretty
oh,
damn cool guitar,
it
dude.
is. I agree. It is. Now you may not be able to see it due to the light, but I'll probably. There you go. I think everybody can see it now. It is a damn good guitar player, no doubt about. And pretty damn good looking guitar, no doubt about that. It's made by ESP,
And
and
he has his own. George Lynch does his own. He has like Mrs. Scary guitars, his own custom guitar. Like
oh
he'll,
yeah, that's
if
an
she got the
iconic
money,
guitar.
if we got like Brian, if we had like $5,000 or maybe 3 or 4 thousand, something like that, we can contact George Lynch company, whatever, and like have him custom make, hand build himself, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like you can have this dude hand build, and his signature is like that tiger stripe,
Mm.
and
Yep.
his
Remember that.
guitar, his custom guitars, it's actually like what, and what it's kind of popular these days, but it's like a solid wood with like it's at like the stripes are etched in the wood. They're not
Wow.
necessarily painted on. It's like etched in the wood. Yeah,
Wow.
it's like rugged.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like it's, you get what I'm saying? Like they cut the
Yes.
stripes into the wood to where it's
Man,
like,
I can imagine what you're talking about. You know,
I
it
mean,
also
it's
fits this.
really spiffy looking,
Oh
really
yeah,
spiffy and
it
fancy.
also fits to say that Lynch and Warren D. Martini from Rat are probably the two well-known guitarists to have their own custom signature guitars. Of course, we cannot forget Eddie, of course, Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, his is on a way another level. Like, I mean, we're talking his own brand. I mean, these
Mhm.
guys are just sponsored by a company. Eddie had his own
Yeah,
brand that made all the money. I mean,
exactly.
he's a
Yes, and that was in the
billionaire,
early
but
2000s, if I'm correct, when that brand
yeah, when
started.
his brand came out, you're right. That
Yeah.
was interesting. But he um he uses now this is the on this tour, multiple uh other videos on YouTube. He's not, I don't see him using this guitar, but
Hmm.
he's using like a snake. It's a lit like a snake skin guitar, bro. Like it's
Mm.
actual like snake skin wrapped guitar, and there's no brand on it. It's like I think one of his
Oh
custom.
wow,
But he
interesting.
was using that, and I guess he just decided to bring in these because he walked in with that light green. They call these like the kamikaze guitars, the George Lynch kamikaze, and has like these writing on it and everything. But he came in with that lime green one with like the neck almost was like the half of a Christmas tree. Like it's like a sharp neck at the end. But he ended up using this one. Um, what's interesting is on these
Yeah.
flying shows, a lot of he there was no tour buses or nothing outside of it.
Really?
So what happens is some bands tour, most bands tour. When you're going pavilions, blah blah blah, your Judas Priest, your blah blah blah, they're in a tour bus. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know for a fact they're in a tour bus. So I
Hmm.
just don't remember when we saw Halford leave in the truck.
Yes.
So that's what
Yep.
throws me off
Exactly.
a bit. Maybe they flew him in and the crew. I don't know. Or maybe he stays in a hotel locally and not the tour bus, but travels
Hmm.
on the tour bus.
They
Perhaps
usually do. I believe they
that's probably
usually
what I
do.
would think.
Yes, yes. Because I remember,
But
I saw the band Bang Tango with this girl that I was seeing at the moment. Her, I,
I
and
don't
one
know
of
who
her
that band is.
buddies. We they saw we saw Bang Tango perform at the Ritz in Roseville, and afterwards we knew the hotel that they were staying in. It was on Gratiot Avenue in the Roseville area, and we were inside with the guys and the members of the band, a couple other fans as well. And I remember a lot. I guess members of Bang Tango talked about this 17-year-old girl who had sat outside of the venue because obviously she wasn't over 18, so they could not let her in. So she sat outside of the venue listening to the music in the back of the venue, I should say, where you're able to hear the band most better off than in front of the venue. And they were talking about this diehard Bang Tango fan. And it's like, that's the bullshit right there. But I remember they did the exact same thing that many that you described. They often go in tour buses, but stay in the motels. In fact, I got to relay this story on you. Me and that same gal that was involved in around that time, we saw Lynch Mob perform at the Ritz and Roseville. I believe it was about early
What?
1991. Yes, we did. I think did I mention that to
Wow.
you before?
No, I never know you. I never knew you seen any
Lynch
band
Mob.
that I've ever
Yes,
seen besides Judas Priest.
Lynch Mob.
Wow.
Yes, actually. This was when the first record Wicked Sensation came out, and this was in the early 1991. Me and this gal that I was involved in briefly for the next couple months, we went back to the same motel that I mentioned previously, and she wanted to wait to see George Lynch, meet him, get his autograph. She wanted him to autograph her leather jacket with this silver pen. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
And
yes.
we had to
They had
wait a
silver.
long.
They had silver. They had
So
silver Sharpies back then,
yes, they did. But you had
or in the
to
'90s
not.
or whatever.
I think it was not really Sharpies, but it was a different brand, for I understand. But
What?
yeah,
Wow.
but either way, we had to wait a long time
Yes.
for Mr. Lynch to come out. And it was snowing around that period of time. And George was talking. He's like, "What is all this?" Referring to the snow. It's like, and one of the fans was like, "Oh, it's Michigan." You know, remember he's from
Wait.
LA, so you kind of see the concern he's speaking of. But we found out that Lynch, who was married at that time, who I guess has a son or a daughter, he was
Hey, I'm
involved
gonna
with
go
this
get the.
groupie.
I'm gonna go. Well, quick, cause I gotta pause that story, cause I want to hear that story. I'm
Hmm.
gonna go get the merch I bought last night, and I'm gonna
All
show you
right,
what I got. But
all
pause
right,
that story, cause I want to hear the rest of it. And can you let me know your what you did today? Let the audience know. I'll be right back.
all right, dear. Well,
Like, how was your day today? Go ahead.
well, but the day was pretty good. I just completed something I'm going to be premiering possibly on Saturday evening. I already spoke in a short that I uploaded on my channel here, which, by the way, I recommend everybody watching this program subscribe, hit that like button and notification bell, along with YR's channel, Entertainment Channel 360. Um, Earlier today, I put together a techno slash soundscape set, which I'm planning on streaming tomorrow night. Actually, let me rephrase that. I am premiering this techno slash soundscape set on Saturday night because I'll be at my job, as course. But tomorrow evening, if everything goes well with the internet, if there's no lagging, if there's no waiting on this to pop up or that to pop up, because lately the reason why I'm recording this right now is because there's an issue with the internet taking its time. I don't know if it's my computer or the Wi-Fi that we got here, or if the weather is affecting the Wi-Fi. If it is, there'll be the answer to what's going on. But I am planning on streaming live, hopefully with no problems, a techno slash soundscape set for tomorrow night. What I got to do after this program is done is combine the two tracks together, and then they'll be all ready to roll. All right. Now, it fits to say that George Lynch, I guess the idea is that we have so many new bands coming out. I guess for all the reasons that we mentioned, health issues, financial issues, that many of these bands are deciding to call quits because they figure hey, we came to the end of the road of our career. It's time to put up our instruments and call it a day, rather than carry on and become what King Crimson's Robert Fripp described as self-parodies, carry on the same thing over and over till people get tired of it. I remember Rob Zombie in an interview stated that it was best to end White Zombie back around 1998
Right.
rather than just carry on and have fans and the people say, White Zombie, they suck now. Why don't they just break up?
Dr. Brown.
Yes.
All right, so on camera here,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing on the back, but it was
Mm-hmm.
only $30. Now I spent $100 on merch. I spent $100 on merch tonight.
Wow,
I'll show
that's a
you.
lot, man.
Now this T-shirt, I'm having like midlife crisis right now
Mm,
because I'm getting fatter in the gut, but I'm still skinny. So
mm.
medium shirts shrink and they're short on me eventually.
Oh, do what
There's
I
no
do.
use in me paying. There's no, and well, I've been getting larges.
Mm,
Some of the larges are kind of baggy and boxy, and they'll eventually shrink, but I'm just having a mental issue getting
mm,
over the bagginess of shirts, but it'll
mm,
eventually. So I got this shirt too,
mm-hmm.
and this is the old, I guess the original or old school Lynch Mob logo. Like I was
Ah,
saying,
yes, I remember that. The one, the capital letters from the Wicked Cessation album. I remember that. I know
you
what
like that
you're talking
one?
about. No, I'm unable to see it at the moment for some reason. I don't know why.
Can
Oh,
you
I see
go?
right
Can
now.
you go on cam?
Not right now. But however, it's like I'm able to see just I see it now, folks. Nice. I
See,
see
it's
it
not
right now.
too like with shorts. The
Mm,
larges are good, and eventually the bagginess shrinks down to
mm-hmm.
where it's like a new medium on me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
But but I gotta find like the jeans I have are slim fit jeans,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't look good with a baggy shirt. And I don't want to even call this a baggy shirt. It's really not that baggy, Brian. It's pretty much perfect, right? It's you know what I'm saying? It's not
Yes, it's a basic shirt size.
basic shirt style Lynch Mob. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like when I put my hand on the logo, you would think it's cheap, but this is it's one of those heavy cotton t-shirts, the heavy
Mm,
old school ones, and
mm,
the logo is like it's almost I don't want to say part of the shirt, but it's like almost 3D. It's not cheap. Like it doesn't feel cheap. Like it feels like decent.
mm-hmm.
Like a old school shirt. It's not that soft cotton bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good shirt, Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Um,
Nice.
and the other thing I got is those are $30 a piece on the t-shirt.
Wow. That's
Okay,
interesting.
which
That
isn't
sounds
isn't bad.
reasonable.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. But then they had autograph fucking poster of the whole
Nice.
band.
Nice.
The only thing that sucks, I think, the drummer that was on the poster wasn't the drummer in the band because the drummer in the band is that remember that Jimmy DeCidi guy from
Jimmy
Bullet Boys.
DeGrasso.
He's the Bullet Boy
Hmm.
drummer, the original
Um,
Bullet Boy drummer, Jimmy. Yeah,
I
Jimmy
don't. I don't think I
DeGaria.
remember.
He's a
I don't.
Spanish guy.
Mm,
He's a Spanish guy, but yeah, it's the original drummer from
the Bullet
the
Boys.
Bullet Boys
Oh yeah.
band, which is
Yeah. I
interesting.
know
Jimmy
was I never
Diamba is
really
on.
knew who the
Yeah,
members of the Bullet Boys were, other than their frontman Mark Turin,
and as
if I
we know,
remember his name was.
like Lynch Mob, it's always been a rotating cast of people in the band besides Lynch. Like that
Mhm,
was Lynch's thing anyway, so didn't really matter to me anyway who was in the band besides Lynch. Like,
mhm.
because it's a rotating door. It's like some years he'll tour with Lynch Mobs because he has 1,000 other projects. He has a
Yeah.
Lynch and Sweet
Mm.
project. He has the Heavy Hitters project with the other bass, the Doc and bass player.
Yes.
Um,
TNN, I guess it's called, meaning tooth and nail. I've heard
Well,
about.
yeah, and I
Yeah, I
think
remember
the
that. I
album
remember
is
hearing
called
about.
Heavy Hitters. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that project being introduced on that metal show on the VH1 Classic channel when that channel was still functioning before it be years before it became MTV Classic. Yeah.
All right.
So
So
so he never was
so
able to check
basically,
out Winger, were you?
now they're gonna. I'll see 'em another time. Though it was
Right.
just,
Too hot. Remember?
and bro, at the end of the day, like that song really isn't like that cool. Like it's
Which
kind of a
one?
weird
Which one?
17.
You know what? I'm
It's
glad. You know, it's kind of funny. Like
I don't want to
Winger.
jam to that
I
song,
know. I know.
Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like
I understand why. I
I
get
was
why. I
but
you know
the
what?
plan
When I
was I
first.
was gonna do it. I was gonna stay because I know they play it is the second song in the set,
Hmm.
and obviously having a video of it, whatever. But I was like, man, I can't vibe to this song, bro. Let's fucking leave. Like after Lynch, and I
Right.
did. So, but at the end of the day, they come like all those people. Warrant comes there a lot.
Oh
Like
wow.
those kind of like 1, 2 hit, 3 hit bands, like one big hit and a ballad type bands in those
Yes.
days come through there, and it's a treat to see because it's like the intimate venue. But like this George Lynch thing, like people sleep on that, and if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But like that's huge to me, and it's like George Lynch is probably a big deal to you, Brown. Like that's pretty
Hmm.
big. Like you know that's a big talent. Like that's an iconic deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Yeah.
can't miss. And
I'm looking up the background behind the song 17 by a Winger that we just
yes.
spoke of. It said that Kip Winger took inspiration from the song I Saw Her Standing There from the Beatles, which the first lyrics was, well, she was just 17, if you know what I mean, and the way
Mm,
she looked was way beyond compare. And he was not aware that age, 17, is underage in some jurisdictions. Now, Winger said guitarist Red Beach wrote the main riff when he was about 15 years old, but was
really?
unsure how to use it. However, Mr. Winger had an idea and wove it into the song. He said that they were trying to rip off a Led Zeppelin song with weird synchrocation, I think it's called, on the verse, although he cannot remember which song it was anymore. Probably The Grunge or Walter's Walk. He also stated, the thing that I like about 17 is that time and time again, I've seen cover bands try to play it, and there's no one I've been able to see to play that riff correctly. That song is very deceiving because it's cocky and it's on the melody end, and it's musically a difficult song for average bands to play because it's all this intriguing picking the different style picking. I cannot pronounce the name. I just found this word by accident.
Country picking.
Country picking? No, it's not that. It's Intricate.
I ain't trying to hold the fuck up there. I'm at Taco Bell. What's up, guys?
Yo, Carlos
Hey,
Cabral, you watched some of that? You
Carlos,
watched
what's
some of that
up?
concert today?
What's up? Yeah, I'm
Concert.
at the Taco Bell in Sumter, Florida.
All right.
Yo, Carlos, you watched some of that concert today?
Do I went to a concert? No, I did some
Nah, I'm
errands and
saying,
stayed
did
up.
you watch it on YouTube? I saw you in the chat. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. Watching on you. You saw me at the what?
You were in the YouTube chat today. You were watching the concert I uploaded?
The George Lynch concert he's talking about.
Oh, I didn't know if I was in the chat. Oh,
Oh, that's an imposter?
Hmm.
Oh, we got to get to that, Carlos. There's
What you do
someone.
is, I think there's what you do is you probably gonna go to the click on the icon and see go to his channel if this allows you to do that.
oh, okay, okay.
Make sure that it was really Carlos, because remember we got a thick ass wads in this
Mm,
community on the internet in general.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that likes to clone accounts.
Yep.
Because, like, to be honest with you, I wasn't on YouTube all day, to be honest.
Mm.
Dang, that is someone that's not you.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, well, hit us up when you're done eating, my brother. You enjoy your
Yeah,
tacos.
when I'm done eating, I'm gonna hit you guys up.
All right
Enjoy your
there. We're
chalupa.
right here. We'll be here, dude.
All right, man.
All right there.
Later.
Oh, all right.
Enjoy your chalupa, brother.
All right. All right. So is Paul 3 available? Because I remember
I
you
tried
mentioned
adding them.
about
I don't know. So what
maybe.
happened with that story, Brown, with George Lynch and the groupie or
Well,
whatever?
that's basically that was the end of the story. She got the girl was involved in, got her autograph, got his signature on
Oh,
her leather jacket, and she told me about a couple months later that Lynch Mob was opening for some act and some venue for another act, which name I forgot, may have been Rad or somebody else. And then she confronted George about that backstage. I wasn't there. I was working my afternoon restaurant job at that time. And she reminded him of that night at the motel in Roseville. And George was very apologetic for that because, as I stated, Lynch was married. I guess he had a son.
what?
Yes, which probably brings up something that we are going to talk about later on in this program.
Yes.
Yes, and probably if you want to talk about it right now, we could.
Did you want? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, which is something I want to talk about, which is infidelity in rock and roll. I mean, like, there's lots of songs about infidelity. We just don't know about them. They're like, for example, there's "Unfaithful" by Rihanna, "Before He Cheats" by Carrie Underwood. There's that one song by Whitney Houston, "Saving All My Love for You." I mean, like, the words in the first verse describe it right there. You need your family and they need you there. She's seeing a married man with kids. I mean, like, God knows. I mean, how many times Steven Tyler got laid with this young girl, that young girl. He was probably still unmarried, I guess. I mean, like, I remember this one story that I guess Billy Idol, who had a baby with one of the dancers from some British dance troupe that he was involved in at that time. He was on the phone with his side chick, and the main girlfriend and baby mama to his kid. She was on the other line listening in, and she just interrupted that phone call and said, "Oh, so now somebody else calls you baby, huh, Billy?" And Billy Adam was saying, "Oh shit, oh man, what have I done?" Ah. And I guess they broke it off their relationship right then and there. But I guess a lot of times rock stars feel that need, to get laid, they have to have that sexual satisfaction, and their women are not there with them, so they got to get it from somewhere else. So obviously that's the main reason, except for the members of Styx. They did an interesting thing. They decided to take their wives with them whenever they went on tour, which is a good thing because like that way everybody's faithful. They don't have to worry about the horniness coming up backstage, such and such. But there are a lot of songs out there about infidelity, and let me see if I can go back. Blah blah blah. Give me a couple of minutes. Let me. Here we go. We got a few. We got some here. We got that Sam
Headed
Smith
for a
song.
heartbreak.
Mm. I don't know if it's about infidelity or anything, but
Well, or Every Rose Has a Storm.
mm, I don't know about that. But I heard it.
But no, isn't infidelity cheating, right?
Absolutely. Go behind your girlfriend or wife's back, and cheating on either one, or she cheating on you, or her husband, or her boyfriend, such and such. I mean, like, in fact, I was wondering, I got to ask this one question. The show Cheaters?
Yeah.
Yes, that show, if it's still existing, is filmed in Dallas, Texas, where you're residing in
What?
right now. Yes, exactly. Have you ever seen any crew members from the show Cheaters doing their filming their program in any areas that you're in? Whether it's a
Yes.
parking lot or it's the grocery market or some club or some concert venue or such. Have you ever seen any of the crew members from that program at any of the spots or heard about that program being at this spot, this convenience store, or that restaurant, or that Mickey D's?
But look, and this is the problem with the early 2000s, late 90s. You don't know what was real on TV. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's obviously real people. They're probably not like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, is there a script? I don't know. Was that real fighting and
I'm
physical?
not, you know what? I do
You
not
know,
know myself. I never really, the only people to ask would probably be
that's one
the
of your favorite shows, right? Like,
well, no, other than, well, not so much. My favorite right now is Steve Wilkos because he's like described as a investigative talk show host with the law and law enforcement. He's a former police officer for 12 years. He also was the director of security for the Jerry Springer show. In fact, I guess he did a fill-in for Jerry at one point or a couple points and decided, hey, let's give Steve his own show, and that show is still running 15 years later on down the line. But back to some of the songs about infidelity. We know this one. I heard it through the grapevine, originally by Marvin Gaye, later done by CCR, Clearwater Revival, which is one of my favorites of that version. There was Wake Up Call by Maroon 5, Confessions Part 2 by Usher. Oh, that was something to listen to. Apparently, the song's about a guy who finds out that his side piece, his side chick, is pregnant with his baby, and yet the girlfriend of the singer and the narrator, Gus, of course, being Usher himself, she's all upset. I've heard this song a few times, and it is pretty riveting. And from what I understand, it was based on a real life situation. Usher was involved with Chili from TLC, and I guess his hormones got the best of him. I guess he got some other chick pregnant, and I guess that was the end of that romance. And I guess feeling guilty, that's when he wrote that song.
did you see the which to an extent we can agree,
Mm-hmm.
Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say like a ballad? A lot of the ballads, like a lot of the big ballad hits
Mm-hmm.
are about infidelity.
Well, I remember there was this one song
I
I
mean,
kind of,
love, right? Like
yeah,
love is a big thing, right? But like
yeah,
there
absolutely.
is, you know,
Well, there's this one ballad I just mentioned a moment ago, "Unfaithful" by Rihanna. I remember hearing that back in 2006 when I was still living in Richmond, Michigan. I guess it's about a woman, who realizes that she cheats on her boyfriend, but yet somehow she's unable to stop because it's like a rush. It's like an addiction to her, even though she realizes that she's hurting her man in every way possible when she does this shit. Let's see here. Oh,
yes.
I didn't know this one's about infidelity. I Write
There you go.
Sins, Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco.
What?
Yeah, it
You
was from
like
two.
them? You like? There's a newer band, right?
Um, I'm not really a big fan of this song, but I'm looking at the list of songs about infidelity, and this song was
Um,
included one of them.
that's a newer band. I'm saying.
Yeah, from 2005, that song came out.
They were pretty big at that time. I remember that band.
Yeah, kind of emo-ish, I guess. Who could not forget?
Yes.
Who could not forget "The Boy Is Mine" from Brandy and Monica?
Let me ask you about that.
Hmm.
And I was reading I was looking it up the other day and reading some stuff on it. Like when it was, I guess you can call it mid 2000s,
Hmm.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
Um, the rise of the punk skater darker era of just fashion of everything. Like,
The black
and you know,
Juno jeans.
yeah,
Yeah.
like skater is different than goth. I get it, but
Hmm. Yes.
all of that is in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like if you really think about it, they're all under the same tree.
Hmm.
They all shop at Hot Topic. They all like there's your hardcore goths, right? All
Yeah.
black, but then like
Yes.
there's your skaters.
Yeah.
But like if they're all like the same thing, like they're all good people.
You know what? You kind of remind me of a
That was a
phrase that
great
was,
era, right, bro?
well, so it kind of remind me of a. We would get these kids at the Leland City Club back around the 94, 95 when Marilyn Manson made his debut with his cover of Sweet Dreams or Made of This, songs like Lunchbox, Get Your Gun, and a few others. And like kids would come in with crow makeup, carrying a lunchbox, wearing all black with some sort of a Marilyn Manson T-shirt, most likely. We used to call them the Marilyn Hansons. You remember that
Right.
all brother group called Hanson?
Yes.
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 So you see kind of the age where we're
Oh, now
coming to
we're
that.
at 1997, brother.
Well, this is a couple years before that.
What year was Hanson out, bro?
Hanson, well, the song Hanson, you're correct, was in 1997, but like the thing was,
Boom, bop,
all
ding,
these,
song, da-da,
which
boom,
by
bop.
the way, I couldn't stand. But you
Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-bop.
see these young
Ba-ba-bop.
kids with the crow makeup
Yes.
trying to look like the crow, trying like
Yeah.
wearing all these, trying carrying lunch boxes like Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids did in their one of their publicity photo shoots. This is
You look
way
like
before they got,
Sting.
yeah. This is that was the name of the original group. Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. And this was a couple years before signing up with Trent Reznor's record label, Nothing Records. It's like and we often the bigger joke that we would have at their expense was these massive big pants, the Juno pants, JNCO. You remember those, man? The kids out there listening to new metal like Linkin Park, Disturbed, especially Limp Bizkit, trying to be all angry, trying to be all
That's
resentful and
still.
stuff.
I'll take that.
Did you know
You
jeans?
realize? You
Mm,
realize in the past, well, I guess 14 years, but
mm,
bro, like hip hop has hit the mainstream to the extent like no one likes the mainstream doesn't like rock. You know what I'm
mm.
saying and all that. Like only
I know,
we and the fans like rock, which sucks.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's all rap. I mean, I like hip hop. I'm talking pop, like with the whole Taylor Swift thing and all that.
Yeah,
But I mean, which is so all of that is so like nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just nothing. Like, but you got to have plug in a guitar, have some live band. You know what I'm saying? That's what
yeah,
a live concert. I mean, that's what it's all about.
yes.
Not music off a computer. You know what I'm saying? But
I know. Well, let's keep
uh,
in mind that Def Leppard are still out there touring with Journey. They're filling up stadiums. Guns N' Roses are still on tour, filling up stadiums. AC/DC, they're in Europe right now on the Power Up tour. And I saw a couple of reels on Facebook of how large these venues are. Like, holy cow, dude. Man, look them up on the internet if you can. And let's not forget, Motley Crue is still doing shows. They're still performing, if they are still considered performing, if you know what I'm talking about.
I would still go, which they don't really do. They haven't done in a while,
Mhm.
like a big tour. but well, besides the stadium tour, right? But
Yes, exactly.
yeah, I mean that's another one that would be nice
Yeah.
to see. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah, but unfortunately at that
um,
time we had to rob at ATM to get the money to purchase tickets.
yeah.
Hmm.
Brian, what do you think about you feel like Kamala Harris is gonna
What's
change
up?
America for the better?
What's up?
Kamala Harris, Kamala.
Man, but so who's saying this? Can run that by me again?
I'm saying, in your opinion, do you think Kamala Harris is gonna make America better, or
Hell no. Hell no. Hell
you
no.
don't like her?
No, I don't like her. Remember, I stated one of the big reasons why I disliked her from the word go because she said, we need a president with compassion. No, we do not. And you got to remember,
What?
she said that. Yeah, me and my nephew saw her
No, why
make
wouldn't
this.
you?
She said,
Why don't you like compassion?
you only because you don't lead with compassion. You lead with strength, knowledge, experience. You lead with integrity. That's what a leader should do. You only show compassion at times of tragedy. Like I said this before, and I said on the Foul Mouse Network a few times. If a building blows up with people inside, you show that compassion to the friends and families of the victims that died in that blow up. The
Of nine
moment,
eleven.
yeah, pretty much,
Fans,
yes. Or what happened at Oklahoma City in 1995.
you remember that on in the news?
Absolutely, that was a big shock during that year. And what happened at that place?
And what? Remember Columbine, brother? What year was
Yes,
Columbine?
yes, I remember that. That was a very shocking thing. In fact, it fits to say that the Columbine tragedy of what happened there kind of like put Marilyn Manson's high career on the standstill. Because you remember, Manson got blamed for what happened during that day. Because apparently the kids who do the shootings, these two guys, they were known as the trench coat mafia. Turns out years later we found out that they were not fans of Marilyn Manson. And a lot of kids have been saying, it's not rock music that did this. It wasn't this band who caused this person to do this heinous action or this malicious act of violence. Yeah, we're going to do it no matter what. And the reason they did it was because they were sick and tired of the mainstream kids picking on them, cutting them down, bullying them. I mean, like, it's now gotten to the point where the zero tolerance policy has now been established in high schools since that. Because now
Brown, I
we can't.
remember.
Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, it's way different now. Like it's metal detectors, blah blah blah. But
Exactly, exactly. Even security guards are walking down the school halls while classes are in session.
see, I'd love to go back with you in time. I
Mhm.
mean, with me being my age now, though, and your age now, but like if we went back together at like I don't know, 1995.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like
better yet,
before
around 1988 till about
that, well,
1994,
like
when
we
the
can do that.
rich.
We can go, but let's be simple. Let's be, you know what I'm saying? Because I was around that 1995. That's what I'm trying to get to. Like,
Yeah.
but I was small. I was little. I didn't. I don't remember. All I remember is wrestling from when I was like 5 and 6. It's really all I
Yes.
remember. It's like my only memory, to be honest with you. But
No, this is why I need people like me to teach
well, I'm
everybody
saying,
what's went on in the past.
nah. I'm saying like so in '95. Like you look back at the '90s and how simple it was, but how kind of um, not corny, but like
Cheesy, but yet
yeah,
more
cheesy.
PC.
Yeah,
PC,
yeah.
politically correct.
People. Dr. Brown
Hey
was
guys, I'm
talking.
back.
Yeah, Carlos, what's up, man? Glad you could join the show again.
What did you order at Taco Bell? Tell us your order, brother.
I ordered the cheesy rice burrito, the country taco,
Country
and some
taco.
chips and a drink. That's about it.
It's a country taco. Carlos Cabral, I haven't had Taco Bell in about 2 years. I quit Taco Bell.
Oh.
Only Mexican food I eat is Chipotle. I do pay the extra.
We usually make
'Cause
our
the next,
tacos at home, by the way, folks.
I would love to have the taco at home, but Carlos, Carlos Cabral, you don't get the soft stool diarrhea after the next morning from Taco
N-
Bell.
Never. Never.
Yeah, I'm expecting that honestly.
It's not
So
worth it anymore, Carlos. Look, I'm right there with you with Taco Bell. I'm not hating. I have fucking Mountain Dew, a Baja Blast in a can in my fridge right now, bro. I love Taco
Nice.
Bell, but bro, I had to quit Taco Bell, man. Like
Mm.
cigarettes, like I had to quit it. Like it was like, bro, it's great tasting. It tastes great. It's fun to eat. I get it. I'm saying,
But it's
and
a
I can't even
disaster
imagine
to your
I can't even
intestines.
imagine how expensive it is now too. That 5-layer burritos used to be like $1, whatever.
Carlos, where you at, man?
I'm currently, you know where Sefner and Parsons is?
What's it called again?
Sefner, I'm at Parsons Avenue and MLK and Sefner.
It's that Scepter. That's an area that's near Tampa.
Oh, I can already.
It's
I
near
can already
Tampa,
tell
correct.
you're in a
Okay, I
bad
don't think
part of
I've ever
town for
been
that.
there.
No,
It's not far from US 301.
Ah,
Carlos
I
Cabral
see.
is in the hood right now because every hood has the street named MLK. We have a street named MLK. Every city has MLK, Malcolm X Boulevard, and that is like the worst part of town. It's like old part of town. Are you in the hood right now, Carlos?
Yeah, we have an
Uh,
MNK
you can
Boulevard. I saw
say
that
the
on
hood,
Well, I don't want to say
I-75.
hood. Like, are you in an
it's upscale.
older
Upscale.
part of town? Older buildings, older street stuff. That isn't. I mean, Brown, you didn't know that, right? Even Houston, Dallas,
Yep,
for sure,
Just
both
about every
cities.
city has an MLK Boulevard. Just
yep.
That's
about.
right.
Even
That's
in
crazy,
New
Detroit.
right?
York has an MLK Boulevard.
Really, bro?
Houston,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But it's not in a good part of
St.
town.
Petersburg.
It's never in.
I think doesn't Orlando have an MLK Boulevard?
If they did, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So
Just be careful, bro. I hope you
I'll
watch
be
your back, man.
I'll be alright, man. I'll just just gonna have just gonna relax
You going
for
live?
a
You're
minute,
going live.
and then I'm
You're
gonna
going live.
head to Dollar Tree and Walmart, get some
Mm.
groceries, and then head home.
Ah,
You're going live tomorrow for a politics show.
Yeah, I just did a schedule with a live. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I want to join
It's
that show.
about
Me,
the
Brown, you want to join that show tomorrow?
but what time
So,
is it?
probably at 8 o'clock.
Oh, I'll be at my job
No,
around
I'll
that
probably do
period.
it before SmackDown, around 6.
I'll be at work.
So
oh,
because I go to work from 8 to 4, so I'll probably do it around 6.
Mm.
So it'll probably be a 2-hour show. It's about the election, man. This election, dude,
yeah.
it's been bizarre.
Me and Dr. Brown wants Kamala Harris to be president. So,
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Dr. Brown.
well,
Please.
understand what I don't understand from the Democrat side, guys. Why would you take out Joe Biden and replace with somebody else? They could have just let him at least finish the election, win or lose.
Well, I guess he
That
probably convinced him to the fact that his mental state is out of whack. I figure, it's time.
Hmm?
This guy's getting way out of whack. He's making
Yeah,
us look stupid. He fumbled at the debate against Trump recently, and I guess he
yeah,
had to
he
the
did.
dem.
He did.
Yep, and I guess the Democrat Party is like, fuck it, let's Kamala, we need you to run in Biden's place. Can you do this for this girl? Can you do this for us, my dear? She's like, yes, I will. So there you go.
They should have had this. It should have been anybody else, dude. I watched that rally. Like about a lot of people walked out of that rally, and I said to
Kamala
myself, "Damn,
Harris's.
it looks like Trump is going to win."
Oh yeah, and the people walking out of Harris's rally. You said,
Paris?
well, you said that people were
Yeah,
walking out.
people walked out of her rally, dude.
Sure, because she didn't really have anything proper to say or anything promising to talk about.
It's just, uh, I said to myself, you know what? To the Democrats, just take this loss and just move on, and let's see what happens in 2028.
Yeah, but the thing is, they
That's
don't want to. They don't want to accept the fact. I mean, look how many times Hillary Clinton bitched, queefed, moaned, complained about losing the 2016 election. Look, how many years did she held that grudge?
many years,
9 years. I mean, like
many
she was
years.
never going to win to begin with. I mean, like she has one of the most shady ass characters out there. And I guess I don't know how shady Kamala Harris is, but come on, right now at this point, the shade is right towards the Democrat side, and the people are now realizing, hey, maybe we should have Trump back. We may not like the guy, but at least we were earning some big ass paychecks, getting big bucks. Gas prices were way low.
Actually, yeah, gas prices were low when he was in office. To be honest with
Exactly. I
you,
mean, a lot of things. Like I've been looking into the stock market, and I talked to Bolsey about this, and I spoke about with my sister. She's like, we gotta wait till possibly Trump gets into office once again, because right now the stock market is at a down low because Biden being in office.
hey, can
But
anybody?
I hear you. What's up?
Okay,
I can hear you loud and clear, Carlos.
okay. I
Okay,
thought
so
I
one
got
of the
disconnected.
subjects we're talking about is infidelity in music. Do you know any of the rock star infidelity songs out there or infidels stories? Because I was mentioning a
I,
few right now when we kind of got sidetracked with a couple other discussions.
I watched the movie The Doors the other day,
Mm.
and it was fascinating about The Doors and how Jim Morrison, how it led to his demise, and his girlfriend ended up dying 2 years later.
Yes, she was a heroine. It was from heroin. I guess her name was uh
I think she was the one that got Jim Morrison into heroin.
maybe or something like that. But either way, like I'm sure you remember this song by Billy Paul from 1972, "Me and Mrs. Jones." That song's about a guy who's been seeing a married woman behind the married woman's husband's back.
You know, yeah, I know that song very,
And we
very
also, yeah,
well.
that's a, oh, we cannot forget this one, "Lion Eyes" by the Eagles. Oh, that tells about a woman who's unhappy in her marriage, so she goes on to the what they call the cheating side of town. And in the last verse, she talks about how she ever got into this predicament, and she feels guilty about what she's put herself into. And of course, we cannot
My
forget the
boy
Hank Williams.
YR's having a Mountain Dew.
Ah,
I just had a fruit punch.
nice.
So
Mm,
Nah, you gotta have the Baja Blast if you go to Taco Bell.
mm.
Come on.
remind me to get the Baja Blast from Walmart.
Ah, mm.
That good stuff.
But yeah, man, this election has been bizarre.
I know.
So it's definitely different from 4 years ago.
Brown, do you have tuna fit like tuna cans and stuff ready? You have to go in from
Tuna, tuna
atomic
cans.
bombs.
I don't eat tuna.
Like if country was being hit by atomic bombs and everything, do you have like perishable item like soup and canned
We
tuna to
have,
eat just in case?
we have some. Yes, Chef Boyardee, SpaghettiOs.
This is for YR show or Dr. Brown show?
It's my show, yes.
Oh,
Well, it's
gotcha,
our show.
gotcha.
It's for my channel. It's our
Well, we'll
show, but
put
it's
it.
for my channel.
Well, I'm gonna put it
Nice.
on my channel too, Brown. Come on, man.
Okay, there you go. All right. I wasn't aware of that
Gotcha.
until now. My bad.
Well, I always put it on my channel
Right.
too.
Right.
Yeah, there's some recording that you done, Dr. Brown. Some of them are in YR's channel, and some of them are and I
On my
see most of
channel.
them on your channel,
Oh, I've been
and
recording
they're
it like
very
crazy.
entertaining.
I've been recording
But
technos.
sometimes Brown's audio is better than mine. Sometimes my audio is better than his. It just depends. Like, so you have two different ones to, you know what I'm saying? Just in case, like, why I'm a backup to Brown, Brown's a backup to me, like, so
Yes.
that people can, you know what
When
I'm
we
saying?
first started doing shows together back in 2020, that's how it was. What's kind of funny is that I've been doing so much recording through my OBS, techno sets, soundscape sets, dub sets. I've been recording so much. I've been doing a lot
Brown, I
of
think it's,
techno. Go ahead.
Brown, you don't think it's time to step it up on that?
No, the techno sets.
Like, not step it up, but like go a step further, right?
Mm,
And do the visual, like have you with not necessarily mixing or DJing like a record, but
mhm.
or dancing. But I don't know. Did you ever think about like creating custom visuals?
Like,
I gotta get upgraded a microphone myself.
mm.
And a microphone?
In terms of creating laser effects and such.
Yeah, lasers or like with the lights. Like you know how you do the glow sticks and stuff?
Yes, or the lightsabers, or this big light that
Yeah,
my nephew got to me. Well, the
that
thing
would be
is,
cool.
well, it would be nice. Yeah, the last time I tried that, for some reason the stream got taken down or it was interrupted, and that was a couple years back. But I might give it a shot sometime. But a lot of
All right, guys,
times,
I'm head to Walmart, then the Dollar Tree, and I'll check back with you guys when I get home.
all right there. All right, have a good one, Carlos. Carlos Cabral, ladies and gentlemen, Tampa Zone.
Like in the program, brother?
What's up?
Would you like to end the program, brother?
Yeah, might as well. Let me mention a couple other songs about relationships. We cannot forget Your Cheating Heart, originally done by Hank Williams Sr. Patsy Cline had a go at it. And let's not forget How Long by the group, let's see here, Charlie Puth. Revenge by Beautiful Trauma from 2007. Let's see, Hey Joe. Oh man, that was a very interesting one because it describes a man about to shoot his woman for cheating on him with another man. Jolene by Dolly Parton, later covered by Libby Newton-John. Oh yeah, let's not forget this. Lips of an Angel by the band Hinder. You Make Lovin' Fun. I know it's Fleetwood Mac cover by the yes, it's You Make Lovin' Fun. It was written by Christine McVie, rest in peace, about an affair that she had with the band's lighting director to keep her husband and fellow bandmates in the dark, I guess. Oh, we cannot forget Alanis Morissette's You Ought to Know. Are you thinking of me when you fuck her? Okay, If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right by Barbara Mandrell. It Wasn't Me by Shaggy. Backdoor Man by The Doors. I guess Willie Dixon originally did it. Oh, here's an interesting one. Stay by Sugarland. Watch the video for that song, folks. Probably one of the most emotional videos ever. And for understand, the song is about the viewpoint of the other woman. All right. Let's see a couple others here I want to look at here. Beautiful Liar by Beyonce and Shakira. Oh yeah. Grapevine by the let's see there. I guess this Brit pop classic and from goth queen Lena Lovitch seems to follow the same narrative line as I Heard It Through the Grapevine, the Marvin Gaye classic. Let's see here. Caught